You how to disassemble a GE dryer. Safety first, so always disconnect power before servicing any electrical appliance. Also, make sure you're very careful on the inside edges of these machines once you open them up. They're extremely sharp and can cause serious injury to you. Here's the GE dryer that I'm going to be disassembling and showing you how to take apart. First thing you do is discover which type of GE dryer it is. There's two types and two builds. And the easy way to do it is open the door, and underneath that ledge there, see if there's a screw in each corner. If there's a screw that goes straight up there, that's the kind I have here that I'm showing you. If you have the other type, there's no screws, there'll be a clip about here and here that you'll need to use like a putty knife or your screwdriver flat blade to stick in there to pop the top lid to get it to come loose. Okay, on this style, you just undo those two screws and remove them. Once you remove the screws, you just pop the top from the corners and pull it straight up, and then angle the lid all the way up and pull it away from the control panel. A lot of times you will find a wire with a clip clipped on there for a ground wire. If it is, just unclip it and then pull this top off and set it aside. Be very careful. The inside edges, as I mentioned earlier, are all very sharp, and every bit of it can cut you very easily, so make sure you're taking care not to cut yourself. Next, locate the panel attaching screws on each corner and remove them using the Phillips head screwdriver. Again, be careful not to cut yourself on these sharp edges. Once you've done the right corner, then go ahead and go to the other side and do the exact same thing. Remove that panel screw. Once you've got the panel screw about all the way removed, be careful to hold the panel in place. It could just fall forward on you and come all the way down to the floor, which you don't want that to happen, of course. So I'm kind of holding it in place. This one will pretty much stay in place on its own if I let go of it. The next thing you need to do is gently lift up on the tub and pull the panel out from under it and lean it back this way. Now leave it on the hinges on the bottom and remove the wires that are at that left hand corner down there. You have to open that plate up and pull it over just like that, and then remove the wires. There's 3 wires there if it has a inside door light, which this one did. One of them is just a little plastic connector. You just unplug it, and then the other 2 wires are actually plugged onto the door switch down there. You can't hardly see it on this shot, but just follow the wires and just disconnect them, and make sure you remember which wire goes where, because when we put it back together you have to have it back on the right place. Now just simply lift it up off the hinges on the bottom. I'm going back and forth on them. Of course you couldn't see them there. Next you need to decide what kind of way to remove the tub. Look on the back and see if there is a access panel to remove the belt or loosen it. If there's not, you're going to do it this way. If there is a 4-screw panel there, just remove the screws, and then you can undo the belt from the inside from the rear. This one's more difficult, not having that rear access panel. All these edges are sharp. Again, be very careful. And you're going to have to do is stick one arm in through that hole on the right, and I'm going to actually pull it up on top of myself so it's easier to do and I have a better angle on it. And then stick your other arm in through that little corner there above the blower motor, above the motor. And I'm grabbing a hold of the pulley and the tensioner arm and pulling it from left to right, away from the left hand towards the right. And this is allowing me to release the tension from the belt so that I can just slip it right off of the pulley of the motor. And now that I've got that loose, we'll stand it up and look at the bolts on this pattern here. You see they're only about 1.5 inches apart on this style dryer. That means I'm going to pull the tub straight forward to remove it. If it had been 4 inches apart on those 3 mounting bolts, a lot further apart, then I would pull the belt and pull straight up and then out. It would be in a saddle type bushing, and this one doesn't have that. This one just comes straight out because they're close together, 1.5 inches apart. I'm using the belt to help hold it up so it doesn't just fall down when I get it to come forward. You have to push those panel sides apart a little bit to get the drum to fit through there. It just pulls right out. You have to again push on those panels. Remember, they're sharp. Don't cut yourself on them when you're pushing them. Once the drum is removed, you just set it down with the belt. If you're changing the belt or installing a belt, you don't have to actually remove that drum. You could have just pulled it straight forward and took it off first at that point. But if you are doing anything else, like replacing the bushing on this or anything with the motor or whatever, then this is where you need to get down to. There's that bushing that sticks out on the back of this one, goes into that hole in the back wall. So that's how you disassemble the GE dryer. Hope this was helpful to you.